Hi guys, so welcome back to our channel. This is an official channel of QCLI learnings. So we were getting so many messages regarding people who want to get in as an in-house legal counsel, and but they are lacking experience as in like hands-on experience in this particular field. So we have come up with this particular course which is specifically designed for this particular need, and in this particular video I'll be telling you about everything that we cover under this course and how this course will land you a job as an in-house legal counsel, even though you are a fresher or someone who is from a litigation background, or someone who is even from some other field in the law but still want to get into a as an in-house legal counsel. So this is something which will help you to achieve your that personal goal. So I'll just explain you why we have come up with this particular course and what all you will be getting under this particular course. So why, the first question is why this particular course, like why have we entered. The first question is why. Okay, so why, answering that particular question. So when me, Achal Agarwal, and Pragya, we were also like when we graduated, so we always wanted to get in as an in-house legal counsel, but the same crisis that a fresher feels and faces, like lacking the hands-on experience, and every organization wants someone who is having an experience in this particular field. So same, that particular feeling and that particular crisis, we have been through it. And when we searched it about it on the Google, so there was nothing which was present, and what we got was just merely the theoretical knowledge. Only the theoretical knowledge was present. So when I say it theoretically, so when you are aiming to get in as an in-house legal counsel, the most important and primary factor is about the practical knowledge, about the knowledge that you have all the hands-on experience that is required, irrespective of you are having a theoretical knowledge or not. But what is more important is the practical knowledge. So me and my friend Pragya, we basically searched it everywhere on the Google, but what we got was merely the meanings, like what is contracts and everything. But when we say practical sense and practical knowledge, we couldn't find it practically anywhere. This was missing. So this is the basic motive and the reason behind why we have launched up this particular course, which is aiming not only at the theoretical knowledge, but majorly it is aiming at the practical sense on how you will actually get a hands-on experience on contracts. So I'll just quickly start with explaining like what we cover under this particular course and how it gonna be helpful for you to understand. Okay, so as I have mentioned, I'll just introduce quickly. My name is Advocate Achal Agarwal, and it's been more than 7 years of working in the corporate sector, working on contracts primarily, and I am been working as an in-house counsel, and my major role was working in the pre-execution stages that you work when you work as an in-house legal counsel. So when I say zero to hero is why, what accordingly we meant from zero is, we under this course we started from the basics. So when I say from basics, it basically meant something we start it from scratch, so that anyone who is even having an experience in the in-house field, and it is better for someone who is a total fresher who is someone coming from a litigation background or some other specific field in the legal career, but now is aiming to get into the CLM field. We start it from this scratch and we make it to the hero level, that is the advanced level. So I'll just quickly start about briefing about what our session looks like and what do we explain in our sessions. Okay, so this is the first session that we take, and about the sessions, we take sessions during the weekends because like 99% of our participants are working professionals and or someone who is occupied, so we usually take the sessions on the weekend only. So when I say about this particular session, and each session is ranging to 2 to 3 hours. So when I say introduction to CLM, so this is something when a fresh law graduates from the law school, we are not taught about the CLM field in our law schools. This is not present in our curriculum in the law school itself. So this is something when you want to go into as an in-house legal counsel, our job role revolves around the CLM field itself. So in this particular session, it is explaining everything which is required to be an in-house legal counsel. It explains every factor related to CLM, like in a very brief manner. It is everything in a nutshell about CLM. When we say about CLM, introduction to the CLM, then as we know, there are steps involved in the CLM cycle. We explain all the steps, which steps is important, which we need to hit as a target area for being an in-house legal counsel. We know the pre-execution stage, post-execution stage, the signature process stage. When we talk about pre-execution and post-execution, we have like as an in-house legal counsel, you are expected to work in the pre-execution stages. For post-execution process, we have certain BPOs, L- LPOs who are working on post execution process. But here, under this course, we are aiming specifically at pre execution stages and helping people to understand what all steps are involved, what all steps are involved in the pre execution stages, because we really want to go for in-house legal counsel. And as me and Pragya, we also wanted to go in an in-house legal counsel, but as I have said, we were lacking the practical exposure to it. I can search about CLM, I'll get the theoretical meaning on the net, but I won't get it anywhere, like what needs to be done practically under this particular field. So this is why we have come up with this course. So we will be explaining all the important clauses that are like all the important boilerplate clauses that are important. Everything about CLM. When we say everything, we explain all the steps like contract redlining, negotiation, execution, and contract authoring, forming, then how many types of execution are there, what is an effective way of contract redlining, how you negotiate on a contract in a practical and a professional manner. So you learn everything practically, not just the theoretical part, but practical sense or and the essence is made understood under this particular course. So when I talk about these clauses, so this is something which is like really important because as an in-house legal counsel, we will be having certain boilerplate clauses, and these clauses we negotiate and redline these clauses in all the CT types. So when I say CT, so it's basically a contract type. So when I say about boilerplate clauses, these are those clauses which are present in almost every CT type. Like for example, common to all the CT type. For example, we have payment terms, we have termination right, we have some clauses which are like really important, as well as they are like common to all the contract types. When you seek any contracts, when you just go for the redlining of any contract, so you see those particular clauses. So under this session, under this whole full-fledged session, you will understand each and every concept which is related to the CLM field. Plus, in this in this session itself, you will get to know, you will see a full-fledged MSA. MSA is a Master Services Agreement, and you will see the Master Service Agreement, full-fledged agreement, and you will just get to know where all the clauses are placed, what is the legal language of it. We take an example of a full-fledged MSA of like a very big organization, and we explain each and every concept under this session itself, so that once we go further, once we start learning more about the contract redlining and negotiation, we know how and where are all these clauses placed. So as I have said and told you earlier, we explain all the steps that are involved: contract request, then review redlining, then negotiation, then once everything is done, approvals, then execution. Execution, as I have mentioned, it is of two types. We explain it all. So when I talk about pre-execution stages, it come from here to here and ends here itself. So all these stages which are here, it covers under post execution, and all the stages here, they are under pre-execution. So when I talk about working as an in-house legal counsel, so you are expected to work on pre-execution stages and not on post-execution stage. So we explain all the steps in a detailed manner. Like, you need to understand how a contract life cycle will run, or on which step and stage are you at present while you are working on a contract. Now coming to the second and third session. So as I have mentioned it earlier, and as I have mentioned it in a clear sense, like, we are aiming to make you understand something, and to make you help you to have a practical knowledge, have you to help you to have a basically a practical hands-on experience. So when I say hands-on experience, so till the situation, you won't be working on the MSA yourself, you won't be redlining the MSA yourself, you won't get it. So in session 2 and 3, what we do is, first we'll explain what contract redlining and vetting is, how we turn on the track mode changes, which is really important once we start with the contract redlining stuff. Secondly, we explain what an effective redlining is, how we we tweak the language, how we mold the language according to our company's policy. So under these sessions, we take a full-fledged MSA. So when I say we take a full-fledged MSA, under this particular session, we take a full-fledged MSA. We divide that into two parts, and in this particular session number 2, we take first part and we explain and redlining redline it in the live session itself. So when I say redlining in the live session, so that everybody has a better picture and clarity on each and every clause, irrespective of it is a boilerplate clause or not. We do it on each and every clause, so that you now learn. In this session, you will learn how you do the redlining, how and each and every clause need to be vetted according to your company's need, according to your company's policy. So it will depend whether you are a service provider or you are a client. So it depends on the parties which you are representing. So we take the aspect of both the parties in the session itself, because there might be cases where you are service provider, but in there might be 99% of cases where you will be service provider, but we make sure we prepare for the 1% too. So in these session, all the participants learn onto how you do the redlining and the vetting process on each and every clause. Once a participant learns, post third session, we share a sample practice draft that is a live draft. So this is a whole full-fledged MSA. Now, as you have learned about contract redlining and vetting in the earlier session, now you are expected to do the redlining on your own, because it's like it's working on contracts. It's same as like driving a car. You will, when you are sitting behind beside someone who is driving a car, you will say it's very easy and I can drive the car myself now. But when you'll actually jump and drive the car, then only you will get to know, okay, so these are the difficulties, these are the queries, these are the doubts. So we want every participant to actually learn and drive themselves. So post this session, third session, we share a draft, practice draft, a full-fledged MSA with the participants, and we give them a 1 week's time to redline it. Once once they redline, they share it back to us. Now, once the participant will be sharing that particular draft back to us, we assess that draft individually. We take all the drafts individually. We mark all the difficulties, all the errors, and all the miss out points. Then coming to the particular fourth session, as I have mentioned, this will gonna be an interactive session where the draft which was vetted by the participants in this whole session of 3 hours or 2 hours, we just explain all the miss outs. We explain everything of that draft individually. When I say individually, we take each and every draft and we explain it in the session itself, so that now each and every participant get to know where they are lacking, where they are missing out on the important points, where they have done the more redlining which was not even required, where they have added more language, or where they have missed out on something. So, in this session, we explain each and every concept of that particular draft. So, post this session, once the participants understands and he's then clear with it, post this session, we share the same draft, but that draft we share is vetted by me and Pragya. So that now after this session they can sit back, relax, and now you can compare on what was missing, and if that draft was to be vetted in a perfect scenario, not just a perfect scenario but a legit scenario, keeping and safeguarding our client or the service provider, how it should be done, so that now all the participants can compare that particular draft. So now once we are done with the redlining, once we are having an hands-on experience with the redlining, for the practice we share few more drafts with the participants to practice and redline on them. Once they are done with practicing on that draft, they can take up their doubts in any session, not just the session. They can ping us, they can contact us, and they can ask any of their doubts. Plus, once they are done with practicing on those particular drafts, we share vetted drafts with them, which is vetted individually by me and Pragya, so that now they can compare both the drafts and they can see where they are lacking. And if they are having any doubts, as I have mentioned, they can reach out to us in the sessions, they can ask the doubts, or even post sessions. They, because we make official WhatsApp group, they can post their doubts in the group itself, or they can just WhatsApp us and set up a call and contact us, and then we can solve up all of their doubts. So once we are like completed with the contract redlining and the vetting stage, Then in the next session, we come with the contract negotiation. Under this session, we explain the process of how it is done, what is the stage number, where it is coming from, and why it is important. Once the introduction about contract negotiation takes place, as I have mentioned, and as I was focusing more and more on the hands on experience and the practical exposure and everything, under this session, me and Pragya, me and Pragya negotiate on the draft. So when I say negotiate, so just to make the participants understand the perspective of both the service provider and the client, I represent service provider legal counsel, whereas Pragya will be representing client's legal counsel, and we negotiate a full-fledged MSA that we have vetted in the session itself, so that now all the participants understand it from the scratch, like the same draft itself, so that each and every participants now know, okay, so this was the red line that we have done, and this is how a negotiation takes place. So under this session, we teach each and every concept that is related to contract negotiation, and we take up all the doubts and everything. Once the participants learn onto how you actually negotiate on a contract, as I have mentioned, as I am mentioning about driving up a car, we really expect all the participants to negotiate in the next session, because next coming sessions, because this is something which will give you confidence on how you do the negotiation and how you proceed with it further, what needs to be done, how you actually do it professionally, what is the language and the justification you put for each and every clause. So under these sessions, all the participants individually negotiate on a contract, where me and Pragya represents the client's legal, and all the participants are expected to represent service providers legal. And under this session, we are negotiating on the same draft which was given to the participants for practicing, and the same draft will be negotiated by the participants, so that now participants have a hands-on experience in working on the same draft, in redlining it and then negotiating on it. So once the participants is done with the negotiation of that particular part, we provide all the feedbacks, like how you should do it, what was missing, how you put it professionally, how you mold it, how you justify it, so that these two important skills of contract redlining and negotiation, you have a practical environment to it, you have a practical exposure to it, rather than learning it theoretically. Because when we search it on the Google, when we search it on the internet, you'll get the theoretical meaning of it, but nowhere it is mentioned, or nowhere it is helping you guys to get a hands-on experience, get a practical exposure to it. So once this session is over, we have our last concluding sessions, where we help the participants to prepare for the interviews that they gonna go for in-house legal counsel. Plus, we also help the participants to redesign their CV. Under these sessions, we help the participants to take all the questions, jot down, pen down all the important questions that gonna come in when they are going for an in-house attorney job. Plus, how they can tweak, how they can mold their CVs, what they can show, what all phrases they can add, how they can show their experiences and everything. So once like these sessions are completed, it's like we are always there, and post, even we have few participants from our batch 1 who are still in touch even after 7 8 months, where they are still in touch, and whenever they are having any interviews or something, so they usually contact us and be in touch with us, ask their doubts according to the JDs for which the role they are going for. And so mentioning more about the code, this particular course. So this is end-to-end CLM course. It is basically of 2 month certificate course because we are taking all of the sessions during the weekends. So it's basically takes 2 months to cover each and every concept in detail. The coming to the course fee, it is 2,999. You can register for this particular course. You can visit our website qcli.com and you can navigate through our courses. We have at present we are giving course having practical exposure on the CLM as well as on the drafting. For the drafting, we will be coming with another video explaining what all we will be covering under the drafting course. But irrespective of your course has ended up, even though you contact us post 3 months, 4 months after the course, we are happy to help. We are always available. We have majority of the participants who are in touch with us and who still contact us for each and every concept, for even though if they need any help regarding to their CVs, even though they require any help regarding to that particular JD which for which they are going and sitting for an interview, they contact us, they ask for all the important questions that might come, and we have like a success ratio of more than 90%, that I can say. And it's like it may not guarantee you unemployment, but it will definitely open more doors for you for opportunities, because all the organization, each and every organization and the companies, they are at present aiming for someone, for the, for an employee who is having a practical knowledge on it, even though as a fresher you are expected to have a hands-on experience. And this is something which is not there in our legal curriculum in the law schools. So if you want to get in touch with us, you can contact us, you can contact me, or you can visit our website. You can navigate through our courses. For the website link is present in the description box. You can contact us, you can ping me, you can set up a call with me. If you are having any doubts, you can contact. Thank you so much for your time, everyone.